All right, now is as good a time as any, so we'll go and get started. But I want to welcome everyone to our spring release roundup. If you can move me to the next slide. So, yeah, welcome to the roundup. And what we're going to cover today is we're going to go over some major releases that have been added to the platform that are actually live in your accounts right now. And we're really excited about these. And I have some special guests here that are also very excited to showcase these new features to you. Then we're also going to offer you a sneak peek on what's to come. But some housekeeping items before we dive into the content. QA is open, so using the Zoom webinar tools, you can ask questions as we go, and then we'll have Q&A toward the end with the time remaining. We're also recording this, so a replay will land in your inbox um, within a day of the webinar concluding. And then if you do need extra help, of course, our support team is always here for you as well. Moving on to the next slide, please. So who am I? My name is Taylor Collins. I'm the Director of Customer Support at League Apps, and I am joined today, like I said, by my esteemed colleagues on the product team. We have Geev Hakimi, Jeff Clark, and Gautam Chowdhury, and they'll be going over these new features with you today. But before we jump into those new features, moving on to the next slide, I do want to talk a little bit about our philosophy this year in giving these new features to you and how we thought about them. So we really just don't want to think of them as features. We really want to think of them as building an end-to-end solution for you, the organizers. And how we did this is we saw how you did things, your day-to-day operations, where things were breaking down, where you got out of League Apps and started exporting things and working in spreadsheets, looked at those manual tasks, those single clicks that were really slowing you down, and then taking a look at those moments from a different perspective and rebuilding the process in the software to support how your organization actually runs. And we do this in 4 different ways. Move me on to the next slide. One is foundational health. There are some things that you just expect from a software platform. That's going to be, is the system available 99% of the time or more? Does it allow you to manage your finances and process payments reliably? Is it a compliant from security and data perspective? And are all those things worked directly into the platform? That's something we believe strongly at League Apps, of course. And one of the big reasons that you come to League Apps and are a partner with us. And the next one is operations. You want less manual work, spend less time in spreadsheets, and more time for what matters. And that matters. What that means to us and to you, of course, is transforming your communities through sports. And we believe that as well. And if we can get you the foundation and give you the right operational tools, that allows you to scale and grow and maximize the impact you can have on your communities. And the fourth way we really need to do that is your coaches, participants, and players need to have a positive experience as well. If League Apps can't deliver that positive experience all the way to that end user, to your customer, you, of course, are going to hear that as well. So we really believe that in these new features that we have to deliver a positive customer experience for your customers as well. So moving on to our agenda today, we're going to start with Geev, who's going to go over Team Builder for you, which is super cool. All 3 of these are super cool. I'm really excited to show these to you today. And then after Geev, we'll pass it to Jeff Clark, who will show you player reports. And then on to Gautam, who will show you global calendar. And then come back to me. We'll give you a quick preview of what's ahead, what we're still going to build this year. Some further trainings that we're going to have for you. So this won't be the last webinar. And then we'll do some Q&A at the end. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my friend Geev, who will take you through Team Builder.
Thank you, Taylor. How's it going, everyone? My name is Geev. I'm a product manager here at League Apps. I've been here for a little bit over a year, and I work on the data team. And I also worked on the Team Builder project, which I'm really excited to show you today. So if you could slide me, please. All right. So as you all know, rostering players and building teams has always been a very tedious process. Whether it's hosting tryouts or collecting registrations, after that you have to export into spreadsheets, um, be it across multiple different tabs within spreadsheets and browsers. And when you finish finalizing your rosters, you still have to come back to League Apps and manually import all that information into League Apps, or manually send out invitations, which we know can take hours and hours. And that is precisely why we built the Team Builder tool. It's for you to be able to do everything within League Apps, end to end, go through bringing in and deciding your player pool that you want to roster, having all the information at your fingertips, placing those players onto teams, and then when you're done, at a click of a button, being able to finalize all of the work that you've done, without having to manually import or export anything. So if you could slide me, please. So instead of talking to you about all of these features, I'd rather just show you. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of the Team Builder tool. I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So what I have up right now is a grouped program. You can see I have some subprograms here, but you can actually launch the team builder at the group program level, either by going into the player section, people section, or in the team section under team builder. So if I go into the team section, you can see that there's a launch team builder button right here. There's three main points that I want to drive home today during this demo. One is your ability to select the player pool that you actually want to place players onto teams from. Secondly, is having your ability to have the information that's relevant to building out your rosters um, available to you in the team builder tool. And lastly is the fact that once you're done building your rosters, you could actually finalize all of it within the team builder, whether it's completing moves or sending out the invitations. So a little bit about the layout here. In the middle of the screen, you can see the teams that you are building. And the way that you select which teams you're viewing is by clicking the button over here. And I can actually select whatever teams I want to view. I can view up to 10 teams. And then on the left-hand side here is the player pool that you're actually going to be rostering. By default, this player pool shows you the free agents that are registered to this program. So these players that you see here are players that are currently registered to the program that I'm launching the team builder from. And moving them onto teams would just be a move operation. Moving players onto teams is as easy as just dragging and dropping them. When I move a player onto a team, you can see it has a little bit of a blue tint. That is because this move is completed yet. And I would have to complete it for those players to actually be rostered onto that team. Now, when I'm making roster decisions, it's very important to have the information that's relevant to those decisions available to me. So if I want to filter on that information and review it, I can click on the filter tab over here. And in the filter section, you can see I can filter on the member information or the custom registration information. So this is the information that you collect at the time of registration. Whether it's a friend request, position, school name, zip code, jersey size, whatever that information that you want to collect at the time of registration, whatever you configure to be collected, you can actually filter on during your team building process. And you can also view that information. So all the custom information, you can view up to 5 while you're building teams. So if I click on some of these to view, you can see that that information shows up on the players so that I have it available to me when I'm making rostering decisions. And using the filter, that's super powerful to take a long list of players and only view the ones that are relevant to the immediate next decision that you're making. So right now I've moved these players onto teams. How do I complete them? To complete the move, I can come here and click Finalize Roster. When I do that, it shows me what changes I'm making. And again, this is just a move operation because these players have already been registered to the program and I'm just moving them onto a team. I can select to notify these players of this change or not. And I can also select to update their invoices if there's a different price for the team that I'm moving them onto. So in this case, I'm not going to do that and I'm just going to complete the move. And when I do that, you can see that those players are now a part of Bright Path United and they have been moved to Bright Path United. This is the case for if I'm moving free agents onto teams, and this is a very popular rec scenario. However, what if I was running tryouts or I wanted to move players in from a different player pool? You could do that by selecting this drop down here that shows you a list of all your programs. And I can select a different program, whether it's a tryout. And on the topic of tryouts, I don't want to give any spoilers, but stay tuned for the later in this webinar for some exciting news. But I can select whether it's a tryout or a previous program. I can select it, and it'll show me the players that are registered to that player pool here, and I can roster them in the same way that I showed you before. I can just drag and drop players onto teams. But this time, it looks a little bit different. They show up under a different section, invite needed, and they also have an invitation needed status. Why? This is because I changed the player pool. So these players that I'm bringing onto teams are not registered to the program that I'm moving them onto, and they're registered to a different program. And if I want them to be registered on the teams that I've moved them onto, I have to send them an invitation. They have to accept that invitation, go through the registration process, and once they're registered, they'll show up under the registered section over here. So as you're building teams, you're not always going to build the team in one session. Maybe it's going to take you a couple days. You want to build like two teams today and the rest tomorrow. The way that you can do that is by saving a draft. When I save a draft, no one's been notified of the changes that I've made, and it's just kind of a snapshot in time so that I can come back to it at a later date to continue working on my rosters. And when it's finally time to finalize, again, I can click the finalize roster button. Now, we're no longer moving players onto teams. We're actually inviting them onto teams. So it's a little bit different. What I can do now is I can either select all the players on a team, or I could select one player at a time. And I can type out a custom invitation message with a custom subject line, like, and I can actually send out that invitation. When I do that, that player will show up as invited. And what happens now is that the player has been sent that custom invitation and with a registration link. And when they go through the registration process, they'll then be registered onto this team. So yeah, this was a quick demo on the team builder tool. Hopefully it's going to save you hours. Like I said, now you can select the player pool that's important to you, that is relevant to your rostering. You can place those players in a data-informed manner using the filtering and the form field visibility, and you can finalize your rosters in seconds and minutes and not hours with sending invitations or completing the moves. A light version of this team builder tool is currently available um, uh, for everyone. It's you can launch it from the subprogram level, and the version of it that I showed you today that includes the source program selection, the saving drafts, or sending out invitations is currently being rolled out and will be available to everyone generally by mid-May. Thank you. At this point, I will pass it on to my colleague, Jeff, who will tell you a little bit more about player reports.
Nice. Thanks, Keith. All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Jeff Clark. I work on the product team here at League Apps during the day. I'm in the Boston area. And at night, I am a baseball coach, a board member, and a director of our league. So the pains that we're talking about today, not just in my portion of the presentation, but in Geeves and in G's, is something that I feel firsthand and regularly. And especially right now, since our regular season just kicked off last night, it was 48 degrees and I'm still freezing. But a few weeks ago, I was at this sports analytics conference making a case for why we as an industry have to do better at developing young athletes. And I want to bring you into the version of that argument that's about you. So you have a philosophy and you have this specific way that you want kids developed at your club, and you've thought about it for years, and you've trained your coaches on it, and you've talked it through in board meetings and at parents' nights and on the drive home from tournaments. And that philosophy may not live in the evaluations that your families actually receive every season, or it might live in some of them, depending on which coach wrote it. And even for those of us who have handed down a template and held the line on what good looks like, there's still a problem that you don't have a tool for. You have 10 coaches at the end of the season, and they're all writing evaluations. And you, the director, have no real way to see where any of it stands. So who started their evaluations, who hasn't, whose are due on Friday and aren't going to make it, which ones are getting sent out to families before you've had a chance to look at them, and who's needs some serious editing. You're the one the parents email when something goes wrong, and right now you're kind of working blind. So I want to be clear about what we built and what we didn't. We didn't build a tool that does a work for the coach. The coach still observes, the coach still thinks, and the coach still writes and actually evaluates. What we built is a system that puts you, the coach and director, in control. The standards, the visibility, the timing. So every eval leaving your club looks like it came from your club, goes out when you're ready for it to go out, and gets to families exactly the way that you want it to when you want it to. So we're not redesigning evaluations, we're standardizing them. And we're putting you in charge of how the whole thing runs. Three things matter here. So one is you set the rules and you see the work. So you're going to design the evaluation template, the attributes that you want measured, the scoring scale your coaches use, whether evals can be shared with families at all and when. Then when the season is happening, you get a real dashboard of every eval in flight. Who's on schedule? Who's behind? What's ready to send? Nothing leaves your club without you knowing. Two is the coach experience lives where they already work. We've built player reports into the Play app with rosters already there and your templates already loaded. Your coaches open the app, pick a player, and start writing. Or they talk into it, voice to text, on the sideline in the moment, in their car afterwards, or later that night at the house after the house has gone quiet. They save drafts, they build notes across an entire season. Then they hit a button, and once you've cleared it, it goes out to the family. And then three, the family gets one consistent experience, a real evaluation in the same standardized format every other family at your club is getting, in the same app where they already pay you, get your messages, and see the schedule. Not only in an email that they'll lose, not in a PDF that, like, got it. Hopefully it's formatted correctly when it's delivered. It's right there in the League Apps Play app with everything else from your club anytime that they want to look at it. But there's one more like pretty cool thing. The evaluation doesn't disappear at the end of the season. It actually follows the kid. So next year, when she's on a new team with a new coach, that new coach opens the app and pulls up every evaluation she's ever received at your club from every coach in every season, right there next to her name on the roster. The family can pull it up in the same way, 2 years in, 3 years in, 5 years in. They see the arc of their kid's growth at your club all in one place. And you finally have the thing you've never had, a real picture on how every kid in your program is developing across coaches, across seasons, and across the entire time that they're with you. And that's the bigger story. So let me show you. I'll show you a little demo here. We'll pull over here onto my phone. Okay, so this is in the League Apps Play app. We're going to open Play right here. This is the app we all know and love already. You get to player evaluations or player reports, sorry, by clicking on teams and selecting the team that you want to write a report for. In this case, we're going to use Sports Dog United. This is a team that I coach and a team that my kid is on. You now see a new tab over here called Player Reports. And because I'm a coach of this team, here are the player reports for all the players that are on my team. You can click into one. Let's pick on Julie Foudy. She might be okay at soccer. This is the evaluation that was written about Julie Foudy. Now, in this case, it was written by me, but this could be written by any coach about Julie, and you'd be able to see it as a coach on that team. What we have here is the evaluation. So the coaching director said technical ability, and this is how we rate technical ability. And then you can see the commentary left about Julie on technical ability along with a score. And we have that for various attributes. Coaching directors get to define the attributes. They get to define the description that goes underneath it to help guide those coaches and help them understand what you're looking for them to evaluate. And they get to define the scoring scale here. The coaches themselves get to write the comments and write and define the rating. So in this case, what you'll see here too is also this little image, this little icon. This just means that this player evaluation has been shared with the family already. So they have it available inside of their Play app. And let me show you that. So again, so now I'm gonna take myself out of the coaching hat and I'm gonna put myself into Cadence's dad. So I'm gonna go over here to my profile and I'm gonna click on Cadence. And what we'll see now is Cadence has a section for player reports, and I'm able to see the evaluation that her coach, in this case was me, wrote about her. And so it comes along with the commentary, comes along with the ratings, and even in this specific case, some overall notes down here at the bottom. This follows me and Cadence along throughout her career at Sports Dog United, so we get a chance to go back and see and review and evaluate, and really just kind of like think about how we can make Cadence a better player as she progresses through her soccer career. I want to show you quickly one thing that we can do inside of here. So let's say I'm a coach and I've started an evaluation for Christy, right? So I have draft mode for Christy down here. Coaches' draft evaluations are only available to that coach, but also to the coaching directors, which I'll show you here in just a second. So I'm going to click on Christy, and I'm going to see this is my evaluation in progress for Christy right now. I'm going to click edit, and now I have the ability to adjust anything I want to. Again, since this isn't finalized and not shared, this is private just to the coach and the coaching director if they want to dig into it. So tactical awareness, physical development, these things I haven't yet rated her on. I'm going to use the magic of my computer here to fill in some of these details while we've got it. Technical awareness. I'm going to give her a 6, which I've already done, and I'm just going to paste this inside of here. Physical development, athleticism. I've got some notes over here. We're going to drop it in here. I'm going to say she's a solid 8 on that. Perfect. Competitive mindset. Like she's pretty good. She's pretty competitive, but we could do better. So we're going to drop that in there. And then coaching, character, we're going to drop this in here. I'm also going to give her a 7 on this. She's again, like, this is a pretty middle of the road player, much like my son playing baseball. So we don't judge on that. We're going to drop it in here. We're going to say, cool, this is complete. Then the coach, because the coaching director has said it's okay to share evaluations, mid-season evaluations with families, the coach gets the option, am I ready to share now or not? I know that my coaching director has said it's cool, so I'm going to say, all right, it's shared out. And now Christy's family gets a push notification on their phones and also gets an email with the player evaluation inside of it. I want to show you the admin side real quick. So the admin side of this is where coaching directors live. Inside of here, you get a nice big dashboard of all the evaluations that have ever been started or finished at your club. And you can click into one and you can see exactly what it says. You can see who wrote it, when they wrote it, if and when it has been shared. And because you're a coaching director, you have the ability to actually go and edit that. So you can say, hey, you know what? They misspelled this. This isn't in the voice that we like to have with our club, or like that's just straight up wrong. You also have the ability to go in here and adjust the score. So you still get, as coaching director, final say on anything that your coaches are putting out into the world about the players in your club. So that's player reports. Everything you just saw lives forever. The next coach sees it, the family sees it, you see it for as long as that kid is with you. I am now going to kick it over to my friend G to show you guys a little bit more about the global calendar.
Thank you, Jeff. That was awesome. So my name is Gotham. I go by G. I've been at League Apps for 11 years, I believe. It's hard to keep track of. And hopefully I've had a chance to chat with many of you over the years, whether it's on Zoom or at a Next Up. Slide me, please. So I'm excited to share more about our new global calendar. This is a brand new tool that went live in the middle of March, and we're continuing to upgrade it each week. It's available to all of our partners today. The goal of the global calendar is to give you a central place to view and manage your schedule. So you can see all of your activities across all of your programs in one spot. You can customize the views. You can quickly search to find the information you need. You can easily update it. There's drag and drop that allows you to have quick visual updates, plus bulk actions that allow you to make mass updates in minutes versus hours. And all of it is mobile optimized, so you can make updates from the field or wherever you might be when a last minute change needs to happen. Slide me, please. And just like Gabe and Jeff, we could talk about it for a while, but the best thing for us to do is to demo it. So let me share my screen and I'll walk through the new tool with everybody. All right, let's go to share. And I'm going to share my application window. And here we go. This is the League Apps Management Console. I think everyone should be familiar with this. And the first thing you should notice is we have a new icon here at the top. This is for your calendar. This makes it easy for us to navigate to and manage our schedules. Here we can see, as I said, all of our activities in one spot for all the programming on your site. By default, we're going to see today's activities because usually you're coming in here to manage something that's happening today. We can easily switch to today and tomorrow, this week, next week, this month, or even put in a custom date range. The table is customizable as well, so you can move things around. You can resize the columns here. You can add and show different columns, and these changes will save for you. They will be available to you in the same format when you come back to work on the schedule at a later point in time. At the very top, you'll notice that we have this quick search feature. It helps us search this list to find the activities that we are looking for. It searches every column. So if you have some sort of standard naming convention, it's easy to find what you're looking for. So if we just want to see the girls programming, we just type girls and we see the girls programming. If we want to take a look at the Legends program that we were working in and doing evaluations in, we type in Legends and we see all of our Legends programs. Once we have the activities narrowed down a little bit, we can take action on them. We can edit, cancel, delete, or check in if that's allowed. In addition to our quick search, we also have some strong filtering options in this new experience. So if we click filters, we'll get a list of filters so we can specifically narrow down our list to look for specific programs, subprograms, teams, staff members, locations, sublocations. These are also all multi-select, so you can select more than one. They're also type ahead. So if you have a very long list and you want to easily jump to something, you can just type in Legends, and we get to see all of our Legends programs. Um, Let's say that we want to just look at our games. So we can go to activity type. We can select games. We can select apply filter. And now we just see the games for this week. Next, let's move over to the calendar tab. On this tab, first thing we'll notice is that the filters that we selected on the list view, they automatically transfer over. So we're only looking at our games. We can easily remove our filters if we wanted to. So now we can see we have more activities show up. We have our practices and our training sessions that happen during the week. We have our games that happen during the weekend. You can click on any one of these cards. You'll get more information, and you can edit, cancel, delete, or check in just like you can on the list view. We also have week and day views, very similar to something like Google Calendar or Outlook that you may be familiar with. And additionally, we can drag and drop to make easy changes. So let's say the summit versus peak game, can't happen on Thursday because there's a coaching conflict. The coach can't make it. So we can just simply move it over to Friday. We can type a message so everyone knows what's going on. Let me grab a message from the side. And we can say that Coach K can't make the game on Thursday, so we're going to reschedule it. So this will save the game, as we'll see, and we'll send a notification to all the participants so they're made aware of the change. Next, we'll look at our third view. It's called the location view. This helps us see what's happening on each field by the day. Let's scroll over to the weekend when we have a number of games. So here we can see all of our games are spread out across locations and our sublocations are fields without any overlap. We have the ability to drag and drop and make changes here as well. So let's say field 2 is flooded because it rained and there wasn't proper drainage. So we could say that we're going to move the Bright Path game to field 3 in the morning, and we can also move the Dreamfield game to field 4 in the afternoon, where we have free time and nothing else is conflicting with it. Let's go back to the list view. Um, One of the most exciting things that I wanted to share about this new experience is the ability to take bulk action. So let's say there are thunderstorms rolling in and you need to cancel all of today and tomorrow's activities across, maybe like 10 or 12 programs. Before you might have to take, 2, 3 minutes to do all 10 programs. It might take you 30, 40 minutes to do. But this is time sensitive. It's 4:30. People are going to start, leaving work to bring their kids to the, 5:30 practice. Here we can take a bulk action and do that in seconds. So we can select today and tomorrow from our filter. We can select we can select all as well. Um, and then we can go over to bulk actions and we can say we want to cancel these activities. We can also put in a note, choosing to notify our participants that, the weather is causing us to cancel games and practices. Sorry for my typos. We'll correct those. And then we can send our notification, cancel the activities. They are done. So this happens immediately. So this view is updated. So all of your admins, anyone else that might come in here is aware that these activities are canceled. The public schedule views on the web and in the mobile app are updated. Plus, if you choose, the communications are sent immediately via email and push notification to the apps, letting parents and participants know that the activities are canceled. So that's it. No unhappy parents who didn't get a timely update of schedule changes. If you have any questions about the global calendar, feel free to reach out to us, contact your CSM or support. We'd be happy to answer any questions, help you get set up. And that is it for our demo. And thank you for watching. We'll turn it back over to Taylor.
Excellent, good stuff, team. Uh, Thanks for going over those awesome features, and thank you all for asking such a huge set of really good questions. And we're have people behind the scenes answering those as quickly as possible. Awesome. So what's coming next? So we're not stopping here. We have some additional features that are going to be coming out over the course of the next few months. Go and hit me with the next slide. The next one is tryouts. So dovetailing nicely into the features that Give showed you regarding Team Builder is a tryout evaluation tool. So again, like we talked about this entire time, getting away from spreadsheets, downloading mass sets of data, sketching stuff down on paper. Let's bring that whole operation into League Apps. So a fully integrated tryout workflow from registration to team assignment. So that's going to be really, really awesome. I've already seen some prototypes of that, and that's going to be excellent. So that's coming mid-May. So you have that to look forward to. Go ahead and slide me one more time. Another one is recurring billing. We've heard this for a while, and it's coming. So you're familiar with payment plans probably in League Apps, but what if you have a situation where you want to bill your members monthly indefinitely for some sort of membership program or constant service or things like that? So that's a feature that we will be coming with. So instead of using payment plan workarounds, adding installments continuously and things like that, predictable cadence with saved payment methods that gives you and your families clear visibility into billing schedules, invoices, payment history, and all sorts of stuff like that. So we're really excited for that for you. And then another really one that we're excited about is revamped messaging. Our Compose a Message tool is really powerful, but it can be difficult to use sometimes. And big feedback that we've gotten is when you send an email, you want it to look the way you expect it to look. So we're going to be overhauling that bulk message tool capability to give you more performance and better reliability. Again, giving you more time back so you can spend that time transforming your communities through sports. So more awesome stuff to come. Some other further trainings that are going to be coming in May and June are related to some of our top support topics. So like, I'm the director of customer support. So we do track what you write in about and ask us questions about, and we want to give you all some better training on that. So deep dives into scheduling. So we spent about 15 minutes on scheduling today. We're going to give you a webinar to spend 45 minutes to an hour, and we'll go through the global schedule, how to create events, how to import things, everything about scheduling, how that translates to the app, and all sorts of stuff. Also, member management, how to fix some of the most common errors that we see your customers make when they're registering. For example, mom creates an account and dad creates a separate account. How do you get those together and fix it really quickly? Also, analytics. There's mountains of data in your League Apps account, so we want to show you how to master that. And lastly, invoicing. What are some of the most common tasks that you'll need to do on the invoice side, from creating payment plans to adjusting installments to issuing refunds, all sorts of stuff like that. So keep an eye out for those. We'll let you know when those dates are, and we hope to see you there as well. And one last plug, and then I'm going to ask my colleagues here to answer a few questions live for you. Next up, Dallas. If you are in the area of Texas, I know Texas is a big state, but if you are near Dallas, you really need to be there on May 11th and 12th for Next Up Dallas. This is an event. If you've been to the one in New York, you know what I'm talking about. But Next Up Dallas is an event for you. It's not for players. It's not necessarily for coaches. It's for you, the sports organizers, so you can get together, meet your colleagues, learn from one another, learn from industry experts. And like I said, in Dallas on May 11th to 12th, go to nextupconference.com/Dallas to get tickets and learn more. The speakers are incredible. I'll let those speak for themselves, but we really hope to see you there. It's you got to be there. And then we'll have Next Up in New York as well in the fall. So I'm going to go ahead and call on my colleagues here to ask a few questions. Let me go back here. So the first one, I'll go all the way back to the start for Give. And this was a really good question. I think it was the first question that came through. And Give, this was when you were showing how to display like form fields data and start to draft teams and kind of save them. And the question was, who can see that as you're drafting those teams? Like, well, as you're showing that form field data, will people be able to see that in the app? At what point do they get to actually see those teams in the app? If you could provide some more details around that, that would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the question. The form field data that you can view in the team builder is simply for the organizers to be able to roster players onto teams and with seeing the information that's relevant. You know, in rec, we've heard that that information can be the school that players go to or the zip code that they're in. Position is a big one. Form field, a bit of form field data that's relevant in placing players onto teams. Or friend requests are examples. But that information is only for rostering players. And rostering players is not going to be viewable to the members until those rosters are finalized. And you have full control over being able to notify them of that finalized roster. But at the point where the rosters get finalized, that's when the members will actually be able to see those changes in the app. And you know, if you select the notify checkbox, then they'll be notified of those changes as well.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, and to further that, you know, anything that you're doing in that team builder will still honor the program's visibility settings. So, well, if you have high team details on or something, it will still honor that. So, next question is regarding a removal. So let's say you've sent invitations to teams, and then you need to drag a player back off the team. What happens in that regard? Does that invite get revoked, or do you have to take extra steps?
Yeah. So if you delete an invitation, which you are linked to the invitation manager directly from League Apps. So when you have an invited player, you can see on the top that you can manage those invitations. And when you click on that link, it redirects you to the invitation manager where you can delete those invitations. When you delete an invitation, the registration link that has been sent to that member will no longer be valid. And so at that point, if you want to invite them to a different team, you can go back into the team builder and drag and drop them onto the team that you want to invite them to and send them an invitation through there. Or you could use the invitation tool that is already available and has been available in League Apps as well. So those two tools kind of communicate across with one another. But that invitation link will be invalid once you delete that invitation.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right, we're going to move on to Jeff. Keep the questions coming. We'll answer as many as we can in the chat with the time that we have. So, Jeff, one question that we got is where to make those templates as an admin. I think we saw that question twice, so maybe it was just missed that first step. So if you could show us that one more time, that would be awesome.
I would love to show you that. Yeah. It's super simple, luckily. All right, so we're in here. So it looks like we're at your site. Nope, let's not act like we're at your site. Let's act like we're at your console. You're gonna go up here to manage, and under logistics, you're gonna see player reports right there. And we're gonna click on that bad boy. And then there is a tab right here called templates. And when you click in here, this is where you can actually create a template. You can have templates in published stages, and this is where it's actually available for your coaches. And you can even have
Mm-hmm.
templates in draft stage. So in the world where I'm working on it, I'm not really there yet, or I no longer want to have evaluations created for this anymore. You can simply knock it in a draft and no more evaluations can be created for it.
Awesome. And while you're here, another question we got is are player reports available for just club teams? Because that's kind of what we see here, or is it available for all program types?
Yeah, it's available. It's available for program types that have the concept of teams in them. So for
Right.
camps, clubs and leagues, obviously for camps, um, uh, the concept of teams is called groups over there. So as long as your kids are in groups, you're able to create player evaluations for them as well.
Nice. And then last one for you around visibility. I know that you can control exactly when these evaluations are visible to the parents and the players. Can you detail that a bit more?
Yeah, so when you are actually, it'd probably be helpful to show you this. Whenever you are in a template, and this is where we've set, your attributes. So in this case, player reports have already been started, so I can't go adjust the attributes. I can adjust their sorting, but I can't adjust their names and stuff. But what you can always adjust, whether you're creating it or editing it, is this little option right down here at the bottom, which is allow coaches to share player reports with players. So if you remember, whenever I was creating that first player report, it popped up and it's like, hey, do you want to share this with the family? If this is unchecked, that pop-up never even happens. Because you're essentially saying like maybe this is a mid-season assessment and this is totally internal. We never want to share this. I don't even want the option for it to accidentally be shared out to families. By unchecking that, all sharing options become unavailable. And that also exists over inside of here. There was a question in there about can we go do, can we kind of queue everything up and then send all at once? We don't have that functionality. We really prioritize making sure that you know exactly what you're sending out and when you want to send it out to the right people. However, it is really easy for you to decide to go and share with somebody. Well, that one's already been shared. Let's find one that hasn't been shared. I think you can probably guess what it was. There we go. So, over here on this side, we have a little actions thing, and you can click share from there. And then it'll say, hey, we're going to share this with Kelly O'Hara. It's going to send a notification to her family and then make those evaluations viewable and play. So, yep, go ahead and share it or don't share it at this time. So you still have total control over doing that. That makes it real easy for you to go and say, you know what, I'm going to share the entire 11U team tonight, and you can do it in about 30 seconds.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to transition over to Gotham and a few questions there. So, I just lost my list here of questions that I wrote down. G, you had it written down. What was that first question you're going to answer? Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. It is about
Oh,
schedules
what
to
League Ops
play.
play? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I think the question was, where is it? I did have it written down. Do you have it?
Yeah. So, yeah, are the calendar features available in League Apps Play? So everything that you saw in Global Calendar that you demoed, how does that translate to the League Apps Play mobile app?
Yep. So for coaches, coaches have their own calendar, and it is it's tailored towards them, and they see everything aggregated actually across multiple organizations, multiple teams. They can add and edit activities if they are given permissions. There's program level permissions for that. We do have an admin mode within the Play app for the folks on this call, for the administrators. And we don't have it yet, but we will be linking to the global calendar so you can take advantages of all this from within the app.
Awesome. And the next one regarding locations, what we were asked is, I've also been requesting to add a location drop-down box when rescheduling a game. So you can pick the date and time, but sometimes the location changes and there's not an option for the location.
Yep. So I can actually demo this one. Let me share my screen. The older reschedule functionality did not have that ability, but the newer one does at the bulk action here. So we are looking at today and tomorrow's, which we already canceled. Let's say we are looking into next week, and we know that a number of these games and events need to be rescheduled. So we demoed the cancel ability, but there's also a bulk reschedule. So we can select the location, the date, the time. We can adjust up or back. So, we know that these might be at different times, but if we know that they're all going to be put onto field one, we can reschedule those. Same thing, we can choose to notify or not notify. We can say this is well in advance, so we don't need to notify them, and then we can reschedule those 5 games. We see a check mark indicating that those options were unsuccessful. If there was an issue with them, there would be a little X that would tell you why we couldn't move it over.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, there are some other questions here, but we're running out of time. So what we're going to do is we have all these recorded, and we will get answers to you by email. Also, if you do have questions that pertain to the functionality of some features that we didn't go over today, make sure you do leverage our customer support team. They're very good. Go into your League Apps account, click support in the bottom right-hand corner, or live chat will be online, and you can send us those questions there as well. But we do have all of these recorded, and we'll make sure we do get back to you with those answers. Also, I do see a lot of messaging questions. So when this messaging feature is ready to go out or when it's released, we're going to have another webinar and we can go over some of those questions then as well. So fantastic stuff. But thank you all so much for coming. Huge attendance. We love all the great questions and the engagement. Again, hope to see you in Dallas for next up, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much, everyone.